Welcome to Remediate, the new card game from the ARC Center of Excellence in Synthetic Biology. Remediate was designed by scientists in the center to share the excitement and promise of synthetic biology with everyone. The aim of Remediate is to design a microbe that can remove the most plastic in an environment. Remediate has 5 types of cards. Microbe. These are the basic microorganisms you'll be starting with. Environments. These are the places we're trying to clean up the plastic from. Genes. These will give you the tools to remediate the most plastic, and potentially sabotage your opponents. Plastic cards. These are what you're trying to remove from the environment. And recycle cards. These are cool items you can recycle your plastic cards into, and they're critical for winning the game. To start a game of Remediate, grab 1 to 5 of your closest friends, or greatest enemies, depending on how you want to play, and have everyone choose a microbe to start with. This can be at random, or everyone can choose their favorite. Place the microbe card face up in front of you, and make sure you take note of the special ability your microbe has, which you'll find at the bottom of the card. Next, you'll shuffle all the gene cards together into a deck and deal each player 4 cards. This will be your hand, and it should be kept secret from the other players. The remainder of the gene cards will be put face down in the center of the table. This is known as the gene pool, and it's where you'll draw other gene cards from on your turn. Finally, you'll set up the environments. You'll always start in the laboratory, so place this card to the side in its starting position while you shuffle all the remaining environments together. Deal 2 or more environments face down under the laboratory card. Each environment has a set amount of plastic polluting it, which is marked in the bottom left corner of the environment card. Deal the corresponding amount of plastic cards face up next to the active environment. Place the remaining plastic cards face down on the other side of the active environment. Then place the recycle cards in 3 neat little piles next to the gene pool. You are now ready to start playing. The player with the best posture goes first, or decide this however you want. I'm not your mother. On their turn, each player will perform 3 actions in order. First, they'll draw a gene, then clone a gene into their microbe, and for the final action, it can choose to either remediate plastic or recycle existing plastic into goods. When you draw a gene, it is added to your hand. Genes in your hand are not considered to be in play and are kept secret from the other players. There are 5 types of gene cards. Remediation genes, which help you remove plastic from the environment. Support genes, that can give your skills a boost. Resistance genes, which help you cope with environmental hazards. Attack genes, to attack your opponents. And defense genes, to block attacks from other players. After drawing your new gene, you need to decide if you're going to clone any of your genes into your microbe. By cloning a gene into your microbe, it is now in play and in full view of your opponents. You also can only have 1 of each gene type cloned in at a time, so choose carefully. If the gene you are cloning in is associated with an action, then the action takes place immediately, whether you like it or not. If your card says discard after using, then you'll need to discard it after the action is activated. If you have cloned in a defense card, this is not active until you are attacked by another player, where it will activate immediately and then be discarded. You can also choose not to clone any genes into your organism on your turn. But you can't have more than 4 cards in your hand at the end of your turn. So if you have more than 4 cards, please discard back down to 4. The last part of your turn is to remediate plastic, or recycle your plastic into one of the available goods. If you choose to remediate plastic, the amount you're able to remediate depends on the genes you have cloned into your microbe. For instance, if you have a fast pedase and a faster cell division card cloned in, then you can remediate 3 plastic per turn. But be careful of the hazards in the environment. Sometimes your microbe will already be resistant to a hazard. Otherwise, you'll need to have the appropriate resistance cloned in. Should an environmental hazard be in play that you don't have a cloned or innate resistance to, your remediation will drop to a maximum of 1, with all support genes inactivated until the appropriate resistance is cloned in. All remediated plastic should go proudly on display next to your microbe card. While it's great to have lots of remediated plastic, there are multiple attack cards which allow other players to steal it, so you may choose to recycle rather than remediate. Recycled goods are locked and cannot be stolen by other players, so it's a good idea to recycle your remediated plastic into water bottles, backpacks, or clothes. And yes, these are real items that can be made with recycled plastic. While a single remediated plastic card is worth 1 victory point, these goods are often worth more than they cost to make, so it's a great investment in your own victory. Once a player has completed all 3 actions, the gameplay will move on to the next player. Once all plastic has been remediated from an environment, step back and appreciate the pristine scenery of your freshly cleaned environment before turning over the next card. Deal the corresponding amount of plastic for the next environment and continue until all environments in your stack have been remediated. The winner of the game is the person with the most victory points. In the event of a tie, then congratulations, you're both winners. If you can't stand the idea of being a co-winner, then each of the highest scoring players draws a card from the gene pool, and the first person to draw a remediation gene wins. These are the basic rules of Remediate, and it should be enough to get you started. If you have further questions, please consult the full rules. Thank you for playing Remediate. We hope you have as much fun playing the game as we did while making it.